Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, it looks like Steve is standing for the pledge.
You just noticed, Mayor, after?
Yeah, just noticed. Not the sharpest.
I'm going to call roll.
So, yes, if you could call roll, that'd be great.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Their connection is
Barry? Here. Silver?
Here.
Where's Brent? Oh, did you
Brent
say?
answered, but it was quiet.
Okay, Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report of fiscal year 2020
Second.
through May of 2020. Who's the second? Sorry.
Can you tell me who seconded? Because I heard somebody's voice. but
I think it was Brent.
Brent. Okay, Brent seconded it. All right. Does anybody have any, or I guess Dana, if you'd like to go over the treasury report, that'd be great.
Okay, you should have the cash account summary for May 31st showing our bank accounts with $8,771,356.79. And we have the summary for the month of May, and that's showing total revenues from all funds of $833,363.61. And expenses for all funds of $1,141,406.83. In the Fund 201, the street construction maintenance repair, in the expenditures, that was the second installment on the street sweeper. That was our final payment that we made. And then in 402, the capital equipment account, in that $39,000 was our final payment for the VIP software that we had installed. Everything else was just our normal operating expenses. You then have the revenue and expenditure line item report for May 31st for the general fund only. And we're at 41% of the year, and our total revenue is at 39.85, so a little bit lower than where we are. We know that we had the COVID impact on our income tax, which we'll talk about under the treasurer's report. But I also have been tracking admissions and lodging taxes, and those are down as well. We are seeing some of them picking up just recently, so we should start seeing that pick up. Everything is still within the estimates that we had provided for the COVID anticipated lost revenue. And for the RETA, I'm anticipating in July that we should start seeing maybe a pickup because of the July 15th filing deadline change. But we are seeing some of the businesses starting to reopen. That's all I had for the treasurer's report.
Does anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Anna, if you call roll, please. Anna, you're muted.
I figured it out after. Sorry. Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve the tax administrator's report for June 2020. Is there a second? Thank you, Scott. Hi, Dana, if you would again.
Okay, so you have the tax administrator's report for June showing our June collections of $318,878. Compared to June of 2019, we're down about $405,000. And the year-to-date, we're down about $388,000. This again is due to the timing differences because of the late filing deadline. Part of it will also be lost revenue. We don't have that data comparatively yet, and we probably won't for quite a while. The next month's report for the end of July, that's going to cut off around the middle of the month. So you're not going to see any really uptick from the July filing unless people are filing early in July. So that's where I'm thinking that we'll start seeing the increase in our August report. And then if you look at the colored graph, month by month graph, that's where you can really see the June drop compared to where we were last year. So we'll just keep tracking it. I've been working with the reader representatives, and they've been tracking things as well. So I think June is pretty much our worst. We'll see how July goes. That might be also comparatively, but then we'll start seeing the pickup, and that's where we're going to start seeing the jumps when we start collecting the income tax for the late filers.
Dana, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I assume that you talk to tax administrators and treasurers in other communities. How are we compared to, other communities relative?
Well,
Dana, consider that last distribution report. The one before, we were still positive and most were negative. Last month, we were down 14, but there were some down 25. I probably could find the distribution report real fast. We're holding okay, Judd. We're not seeing, I mean, it's following not the plan, but the program that Dana had outlined as what we think will happen, and that was manageable. We haven't seen anything yet to contradict that. But I can send you the distribution report, Brandon. I can forward it to you. I mean, Judd, I can forward it to you if you want to see it. It goes every community in Rita.
I think it would be worthwhile for all of us to see that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll forward it. I'm pretty sure it's public record. I mean, it is, I'm sure.
Thanks, Mayor. Anybody else have any
I'll
questions?
forward it to Ann and she'll get it out to all of you.
Thank you.
thank you,
Anybody else
Mayor.
have any questions? Comments? All right, Anna, if you would call roll, that'd be great.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. Sounds like somebody has emails or something that's popping up and going ding ding a bunch. So
Yeah. People coming back in and back and forth. Zugan couldn't get in, now he's back.
okay.
Brian Peters on.
I'm not sure if it was like emails popping up or whatever. I was just gonna ask people from you. Okay. Moving on to discussion of bills to be paid in the month of July in the amount of $367,288.25 and additional June expenses in the amount of $78,309.92. Does anybody have any questions on the bills?
I just wanted to add a question on the, what does that represent in terms of numbers of people?
Which vendor?
The Bedford Police Department inmate housing for May.
Oh, well, divided by about $75.
So that's what costs $75 a day for.
Chief Costura, is Bedford
That's
75?
That's Bedford 75, yes.
So that's not too many nights.
It's a lot cheaper than sending them to the Drury.
Nice.
All right, anybody else have any questions on the bill? All right, if not, we will move on. I'll make a motion to award the bid for the concrete road repair program for 2020 to TC Construction in the amount not to exceed $63,757.50. Is there a second?
Second.
second it.
I think Jed was first there. Brian, do you want to go ahead and discuss this for us?
Yeah, basically with the asphalt or with the concrete program, we got 4 bidders out of 5 people that took out plans. Low bidder TC Construction has done numerous jobs here in the village for us. They're actually about 20% under estimate. Can't complain about that. Basically, it's just a very small concrete repair program this year. Just miscellaneous repairs, a couple of dumpster pads. I recommend TC. That's basically all there is to it.
Thanks, Brian. Anybody have?
I have just a quick question, and I apologize if you've answered this before. Are the people that bid, the companies that bid, are they aware of the engineer's estimate before they bid, or is that kept separate?
No, it's actually published in the specifications.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, if you would call roll, please, Anna.
Amit,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry. Harry?
Looks like Lisa disappeared for a minute.
Oh, there she is.
There.
Okay, just thumbs up. Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes,
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Did you get Lisa when she came back in?
Where did she go now?
She's back.
Oh,
Lisa,
there-
you're
Muted,
muted.
Lisa. You're
Yeah,
muted.
Lisa, you did now.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
And my phone had a blip. I don't understand what happened, but sorry.
All right, you're still here. Okay. Next, I will make a motion to award the bid for the asphalt repair program for 2020 to Perrin Asphalt. I guess it's a company, I'm assuming, in the amount not to exceed $235,900. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Brian, if you want to go through that as well.
Basically, this program is just the resurfacing of Village Hall. We're also doing the parking lot. Where the very well received. As you can see, 10 people took plans out, 8 of them returned bids. Perrin Asphalt, it's been a while since they've been around in the village. They were just awarded a project in another one of our communities, resurfacing a road. Again, I think with the way construction going, we're seeing very favorable numbers. Again, you're about 20% under the engineer's estimate. Like I said, it's been a while since I've worked with Perrin, but they have done work in the village before, and I would strongly recommend awarding them the asphalt project.
I guess this is my predisposition in what I do is I'm always concerned when I see a bid that's way below the estimate and the expected cost in comparison to the high to low. That's high and 235 at the low end. I'm always somewhat concerned that they've got everything covered in the bid. Are you comfortable with the fact that they have the entire job covered appropriately? Right.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, you have Roniak and Chagrin Valley just $15,000, over their bid. All the bid has been checked. One of the, as usual, one of the big items, is what people are willing to bid for. Items such as like mobilization or
Right. Yeah, management over profit, that stuff is where you probably, but you want to make sure that you've got all of the items covered sufficiently.
Well,
You do have a check.
What's that?
I was just going to explain to Jed that you do have a checklist and you make sure that every bid has the required items to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that your breakout is here. So,
So they're willing to basically, as I was saying, like for mobilization, they're willing to bite the bullet on mobilization, $1,500. Other contractors were bidding $10,000. These are the times
Brian, you're breaking up a bit.
I would say that.
people trimming out, they can trim out.
Did everybody get that? Brian, you're breaking up quite a bit.
I was just saying, contractors in this market right now will trim wherever they can trim. For items such as mobilization or, maintaining traffic and stuff like that, they are significantly under other bidders that finished just, second and third.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you comfortable, Judd? Is that enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those aren't quantity items. Those are management items, and you can't look at them and say, well, one guy's managing it differently than the other. You just want to make sure that the actual job is in there.
Well, and again, that is why we do itemized bidding.
Right.
Anybody else have any questions for Brian? All right, if you could call roll, Anna, please.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. Moving on to audience comments relating to agenda items only. Is there anybody else on here?
Ed Wittenberg.
There's one phone number I'm not sure of. Is that?
That's Zugans.
That's Bob Zugan's cell phone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I guess there's no audience. Moving on to old business of pending legislative motions. Ordinance 2020-11, ordinance amending subsection D of section 521.06 of the codified ordinances of Orange Village to permit delivery by regular mail to the tax mailing address on the title deed to the property for failure to comply. This is on for second reading. Nothing's changed since the prior meeting. I'll make a motion to suspend. There's a second.
Second.
Seconded.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. I'll make a motion to pass ordinance. I'm sorry, Anna, if you call roll on suspension, please.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes, and I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2020.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Stacy. Does anybody have any other comments on this? All right, Pete, call roll, please.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Yes.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes. Moving on to ordinance 2020-12, an ordinance authorizing an agreement with Dana J. Cavender for treasurer tax administrative services that are necessary to provide for the daily operation of the Orange Village Finance Department. This is on for second reading. I'd like to make a motion to suspend.
Second.
I'll second it.
Disa, I guess.
Yeah, I
All right.
seconded it.
Thanks. Whatever your name is, Anna, if you could call roll, please.
Comment?
Yes.
Vincent?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Silver?
Yes.
Klein?
Aye.
Bilski?
Yes.
Duber?
Yes, and I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2020-12. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Stacy. Anybody have any further comments?
Just like
Not-
to say what I said last time, and that's Dana has been phenomenal to work with, and I just want to thank her for all of her work and look forward to working with her in the future.
Glad that we can.
All right, if you would call roll, please. Sorry, we couldn't hear you.
Me, comment,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Moving on to ordinance 2020-13 as amended, an ordinance authorizing an agreement with Robert Zugan for services to be provided as Director of Service. It's on for second reading. I'll make a motion to suspend. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Scott. Anna, if you'd call roll on suspension, please.
Comment,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes, and I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2020-13. Is there a second?
I'll second that with the same kudos to Bob as there were to Dana.
All right, thank you.
Quick question. I have a quick question, Brad. It says on here as amended. Is that just the wonky language from last week where it says Director of Services? Is that the only?
Yes.
That's what changed.
Any other comments? All right, if you would call roll, please.
Comment,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. And moving on to resolution 2020-3. A resolution announcing all forms of racism and stating the village's commitment of being welcoming to all people, irrespective of race or any other immutable characteristic. I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make?
I just want to restate what I said last week, that I support this resolution as a step in the right direction. I know one resolution may not be enough to change the culture of an entire nation, but I stand by this resolution as a good basis from which to start and move forward. And it also reminds our residents of what we believe in and stand behind. And I look forward to working with any interested residents, fellow council members, and Orange Village administrators in assessing the next best steps for continuing to open dialogue and engage in any further conversations. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Vincent. Is there any other comments? All right. If you would call roll, Anna, please.
Comment,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. There is no new business. I don't think there's an audience. So let's move on to comments by the mayor.
As most of you probably know, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced that effective today at 6 o'clock, a new Ohio Department of Health order will mandate face coverings in public in all counties that are designated as a red alert level 3 or a purple alert level 4. Cuyahoga County is designated as a level 3 county. Therefore, a face covering is required throughout the county in the following areas: in any indoor location that is not a residence, when outdoors and unable to constantly maintain a distance of 6 feet or more from individuals who are not members of your household, while waiting for, riding, driving, or operating public transportation, a taxi, a private car service, or a ride-sharing vehicle. Where it said indoor location, not a residence, I'm not sure if that was supposed to be not your residence. Do you know, Anna? Is it any residence or your own residence?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we will know when the order event does come out, which it hasn't as of a little bit before this meeting started. And for that information and for every other nuance in the order, please go to our website on our COVID resource page. Anna has diligently been keeping that current. But what we do know as of now is that this order does not apply to children under the age of 10 or other minors who cannot safely wear a face covering.
Mayor, the order came out like 20 minutes ago, I think, and it's any indoor location that is not a residence.
A residence.
Any resident.
Correct.
Good,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Can
Thank you
I,
for
can
making
I
that
ask a
clear.
quick question? How about on our paths?
Well,
Outside.
if it's outside and you can maintain social distance, it's not required.
Right.
Okay.
I have a question for some more clarification. I've noticed there are some people who put a mask on over their mouth and not over their nose. Is there anything specific in the ordinance about?
Yeah, it's got to cover your mouth, your nose, and or a shield that goes from above your eye, but from above your eyes to below your chin. I mean, I did see specifics written out.
Okay.
That's correct.
Did you say that's correct, Steve?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's a few other exceptions. For example, if your physician advises against it, businesses have their specific requirements. If you're talking to someone who's hearing impaired and they have to see your mouth, and like in our administration, when you're alone in your office and you have your own workspace, you can take the mask off then. Again, we will have the order. Now that it's here, we'll get that on tomorrow, unless Anna stays up late tonight. On Friday, July 10th, we will be collecting flags. Oh, I'm sorry, before I switch gears, I will remind everybody again that if you have not already done so, we do have 3-ply non-surgical face masks available. We're starting at 2 per residence and see how our supply goes. Come into the police department anytime between 8 and 4 and pick up some masks for your home.
We have a lot of those left. I know we've been giving them out a while.
Yeah, we still have a lot. Anna, you know how much? How many?
Oh, but plenty, a lot.
Plenty. We got enough for the next pandemic. We're good.
Mayor, if I can ask, and I don't know if this is directed more toward you or the chief, but there's been such a disparity between communities as to how different law enforcement groups tend to.
Let me address that. Let me address that, but because I did have conversations about that today. I was actually on a Zoom conference this morning with the mayors throughout Northeast Ohio and the mayor's law director. And it is believed by the mayor's law director. Oh, Steve's got the order now. See, I called Steve after that law director told us that it's a police enforcement issue because the health departments who are in charge of it, they don't have enforcement mechanisms. They can't cite. So I asked Steve to read the directive and then advise me, chief, and let us know what we have to do about it. If it is a state law, then we do follow. We do what's the word I'm trying to say? We do enforce state law. So we're going through the words and figuring out. So I don't have an exact answer, and nobody does yet.
Yeah, and I have not had a chance to study this. I just
You had it for 20 minutes.
I wasn't reading it for 20. I had to get onto Zoom.
Okay. It's complicated. There are some communities like Beechwood that went ahead and passed their ordinance. Their ordinance will apply to Beechwood. Their ordinance will prevail over the governor's order, I believe. That's how I understand it. At least that's how it would be with the county. Now, the county was going to introduce one, and they introduced it yesterday, but they decided to send it to committee and study it for a while. I don't understand that at all, but they knew the governor was coming out with something. So they are not sure what they're going to do yet. Maybe they'll put in different rules than what the governor said. For example, I think Steve was explaining to me earlier that maybe our county will want us to wear masks even if we go down to a level 2, but under the governor's order, we won't need to. So everyone's still playing it out. It's not as bad as the first few days of this COVID thing, but it's a moving target every hour. So check our resource page, or we'll know after we read our email tonight. Any other questions on that, or should I move on? Friday, July 10th, we will be collecting flags, computers, e-scrap, and household hazardous waste at the Orange Recycle Center. Reminder, no latex paint. The construction of the recreational trails, just in case anyone was going to ask, they have moved to Miles Road. They're working on Miles. They're starting at Lander and heading east to Woodcrest. And then they'll go back to Lander and head west. Well, I don't know where they'll start, but they'll get the other section. Traffic will be maintained in both directions. There will probably be delays at times. Again, I encourage everyone, I don't know that I need to say this to council people, but if there's any public listening, please sign up for our electronic newsletters and our phone calls with updates. Our website will tell you how to do that, or please call Village Hall and Anna will help you with that. The heat, the forecast for tomorrow says it's only in the 90 degrees, but I got a notification from the county that the heat index value is going to be around 103. So tomorrow is going to be brutal. Again, final reminder, remember to continue and practice social distancing, frequent and good hand washing. And now I can say, wear your face mask. We are the only ones who can help stop the spread of this virus. So let's beat it here in Cuyahoga County. That's
Thanks,
it.
Mary. Thank you. We'll move on to comments by council members. We'll start with Ms. Perry.
I have no comments tonight.
All right, moving on to Mr. Silver.
Yeah, I have a quick question for Chief Custori. Are you still on the line, Chief?
He's there.
I know nationwide, I've been reading articles about a lot of complaints about fireworks this year. I think people are just bored being in quarantine. I kind of noticed an increase as well, over where I live. For me, it's kind of hard to tell which ones are coming from the Solon side and which ones are coming from Orange. But I was just curious if we did get a lot of calls this year on fireworks. And if so, how do the officers handle calls like that? Like, what's the protocol, and what do they do if they do see people shooting fireworks off?
Well, there's so many different types of fireworks. It's dependent upon if they have M80s and things of that nature, that's a problem. When they have bottle rockets, things like that, you can almost understand it. And a state that sells fireworks but doesn't permit you have to take them outside the state within 48 hours or something, you make this agreement, is ridiculous. And you can ask Mr. Bilski. We've been having the conversation within the last few weeks about fireworks, and I've been positioning the officers to try and determine where these fireworks are being shot off from, and at no time have we found any of them to be in Orange. They've been in Woodmere and Warrensville Heights and over in the Moreland Hills area, and Scott and I have had this discussion a few times. I think just this COVID and people being a little bored made them go out and get these. I know at my house there's been way more than usual, and I think it's something that we've just pretty much had to tolerate. But for the most part, I know of none of the persons being involved setting them off in Orange Village. And I'm not saying they don't set them off in Orange Village, but when the policemen were positioned to try and determine where they came from, they did not come from the village boundaries.
I have a really good anecdotal story to tell you, Brent, about this question. I don't know the name of the company, but I was just reading today how some big fireworks company, maybe Phantom Fireworks or some really big fireworks company, because everybody canceled, the communities, everybody canceled. So they were going bankrupt. And because everybody started buying fireworks, he sold out his $1 million inventory in his warehouse, and he's sitting pretty now.
Not surprising.
So yeah, everyone's using fireworks.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Wear a mask. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Silver. Mr. Comet?
No comments.
Thank you. Mr. Klein?
A couple things. Planning Commission met last night. We had a few items on the agenda that will be coming to council, including a variance for a driveway width increase, 31,299 Woodcrest. And we're recommending that council approve the variance for it. The second thing that's just kind of interesting anecdotal, last night came before council or planning commission. The Village Diner has this outdoor dining and entertainment program that they initiated, And I think it's a very clever approach that their business is taking. And we gave them approval for how they would use their parking lot and the area in front of their business to conduct this activity, which seems to be very creative and clever and provides them an opportunity to make some money and also offer some entertainment to the community. So they'll be doing that on Friday nights, as I understand it. And maybe you can take that in if you're interested. The other thing I wanted to mention, not related to that, but kind of as a follow-up to our passage of the resolution, I think it's important that we circulate it amongst the residents, if for no other reason, to let them know that we're acting and thinking about these kinds of issues. Perhaps the best way to do it is through the newsletter or email to our residents, and at the same time ask them for recommendations and comments that we might want to consider in the future as we move from intention to action. So perhaps there's a letter that could be written along with the posting of this resolution in the newsletter that would encourage to engage. And that said, we're amazing, and I enjoyed fireworks on the 4th of July from the back of my son's boat, which was really unbelievable.
Judge, you didn't want to tell the council that we approved 4 new houses last night?
Well, we're getting acclimated to we had 4 new houses and a zillion landscape plans that were
It only
approved.
felt like a zillion.
And so we're trying to do something to mitigate the number of landscape plans that have to be reviewed by Planning Commission, because it really is creating a lot of burden on our agenda. And there may be we believe there's a better way to conduct that activity. Pulte Homes continues to sell houses like hotcakes over there at the Lakes of Orange, and they have 4 new ones that were approved. There are others forthcoming, and the hits just keep on coming from that development.
Do we have any idea how many vacant lots are actually still available there with all these recent sales?
Bob McLaughlin would probably know. Do you
Bob would
have
have
any idea?
I don't have that number.
Yeah, there was 150 sites. I think not even half are done.
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of it to be built in both the second phase, third phase, fourth phase of development.
5th, 6th, and 7th.
Phase
haven't started yet.
4 and 5. Phase 5 was just, the road was just poured. So they have all of phase 5 to build, and most of phase 4 it has maybe 1 house on it so far. So we have quite a bit.
That's a
Well,
lot.
maybe Scott, you'd be looking for a new house.
Maybe. I want to live by Judd, so.
Yet again.
Yet again.
And that's all I have to the news that's fit to print from here.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Ms. Vincent?
Good evening, everybody. Again, Judd stole my thunder a little bit. I participated in that dinner last Friday night at the diner, and it was fabulous. So I do encourage you to go. They do keep spatial distancing. It's like, I likened it to tailgating at social distancing. Wear your masks. And it's good food and good music, so check it out. I happened to be driving past Pinecrest earlier this week, and I noticed a few Orange Village police cars, and I just peeked over to see what was going on. And I saw that they were assisting someone who had run out of gas on Harvard. And I just wanted to say thank you for keeping that person safe. It seemed like everybody was very appreciative, and I wanted to let our officers know how much I do appreciate all they do. It was nice to see. It was in a kind of a dangerous location, and it was nice to see our officers out there making sure everybody was safe. So thank you for that. I did see that the recycling report came out, and our percentages look pretty good. I don't know if anybody else saw that. And I don't know from the past if this is better or worse than previously, but I was hoping someone could clarify. I saw it was 27% composted and 17% recycled.
That's terrible. Is that the county report card?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but if those are the numbers, those are terrible.
Terrible as it is, it's better than most of the communities around. So I know we want to keep getting better and obviously move in a better direction, but
well, recycling's being less now than harder to recycle.
Yeah, right. I know earlier in the year when we went over to the plant, and I thought it might be something interesting to kind of revisit once everything opens back up again and try and get people to continue to recycle. So anyway, just something I noticed. A note on the hand sanitizing in case people didn't see, but I guess there have been some products that have that contain methanol, and those have been recalled. So they're supposed to be disposed of. So check your hand sanitizer, make sure it doesn't have any methanol in it.
Methanol?
Methanol. Ethanol is okay, but methanol is not. So I guess there were some companies that manufactured it with methanol. So make sure to check yours and just make sure you're safe. There's no official school report tonight, but I will say there is a special board meeting scheduled for Friday at noon. The link will be available on the website, and it's to consider amending the school calendar for this school year, the 2021 school year, and to discuss matters of opening. So for those of you that have an interest in what the school year will be like this year and the plans therein, I encourage you to tune in. The link will be on the Orange Schools website, and I'm guessing we could also put that link on our website too once it's up. I think a lot of people are very interested in hearing more about that. A reminder that July 29th is the Zoom call on the Axiom proposal if anyone's interested or following that. I know at least one of our council members will for sure be interested in that. Before I go to that though, are we Zooming next month too, or has that not been determined?
We will.
No, either. I was gonna bring it up in a minute, but I'm assuming that we're probably, but I was gonna talk about that in a little bit.
I'll defer to you, but before I go, last but certainly not least, I would be terribly, terribly remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank Scott Bilski for his service to Orange Village. I know the number of years he served on council.
Stacy, if you can hold on for a minute.
Okay, I can, and that's all I have. So I defer to you, and then I'll come in after.
If I could say something about the public hearing regarding in Pepper Pike regarding the zoning issue, it's possible that petitions may be turned in and that public hearing may be canceled. So be sure to check the website to see if there's a cancellation if you're interested in seeing what's going on over there.
And the petitions are going to be good?
I don't know. If the petitions are handed in and they are good and the applicants request the withdrawal of the legislation that's pending before council, there won't be a public hearing.
Any other comments, Stacy?
No, one other quick thing. I just want to send my sympathies for those who don't know or aren't aware. I'm Joseph Regano, who's the long-standing school superintendent in Solon, passed away this past week of, not from COVID, but he's been sick. And I just wanted to send my sympathies out to our neighbors and friends and family of Joe Regano. He's done a great job with Solon schools, and his loss is a big one. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Bilski is not allowed to speak tonight, so we can just move on. No. Mr. Bilski, say whatever you want.
Well, I tendered my letter of resignation to Brandon, and I copied Kathy yesterday, effective August.
It wasn't accepted.
No,
well, it wasn't accepted. Effective August 1st, the day we are moving. And it truly is very bittersweet that I'm resigning from council and that we're leaving Orange Village. Before Amy and I got married, we targeted Orange as the community where we wanted to raise our family and the schools we wanted to send our kids to. And for the last almost 16 years that we've lived here, it's certainly lived up to our expectations and exceeded them really from start to finish here. I can't even begin to tell you how impressed I've been before I started serving on the finance committee and council, by all of my interactions with the mayor, with Anna, and all the days that my garbage was skipped for whatever the reason, they always targeted me, and Anna was always on top of it. I had a lot of conversations with Bob Zugan about all sorts of things. I mean, just the knowledge base that between our mayor and the administration, all the chairs, as we all know and as our citizens all know, is truly second to none. And the vested interest that all of them took in me and my family and anything that came up with us prior to me ever even thinking about getting involved in Orange Village, just they treat everyone like they're the most important person. And this is just who all of you folks are and why people want to live here and why I had no problem selling my house, because everybody knows how great it is to live in Orange. And I mean, it's truly, it's happy moving on to a place, and my friends make fun of me, where I'm building a first floor master where I can hopefully make this the last move at age 46 that I will ever make. But it's truly sad. My kids are sad. This is the only house they've ever known, our only neighborhood, but we're truly moving 1 mile away, and I'm not going far. We're not giving up on the Orange schools. We love the Orange school experience, but I will be on the rec trails, and I hope to pass by socially distant all of you on the rec trails. And I'm sure I'm going to see you all around, because we are still going to be neighbors, and just moving, unfortunately, just a little bit on the other side of the Orange Village boundaries there. But no, it's truly been a pleasure working with all of you, and every aspect of the Orange Village operation is top notch. And I only hope that my new home and my new city will provide as much in the way of services that Orange Village has for me and all of our residents. So thank you. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I honestly believe that the village is in wonderful hands, and I can't wait to see what wonderful things that you come up with next to enhance the lives of all of the residents. And that's something that's really impressed me, how this group, its staff, elected leadership, everybody together works together as a team for a common good. And I'm glad that I was part of this team for the last 2.5 years. So thank you very much.
Well, I'll consider accepting your resignation. I got some time to think about it. I'm gonna have to digest it. But I do want to thank you, Scott, for serving on council. You've had a very thoughtful and pragmatic approach to what we do here. And I know I appreciate that. I think everybody else on council and the administration and staff appreciates that too. So have fun in that other place. And Mayor, stop crying. And yeah, it's been nice. Does anybody have anything they want to say to Scott? I know you do, Stacy.
Is this okay now? Sorry.
You were going to resign for him. Like,
I did mean off stage, and I did ask Scott's permission if it was okay for me to speak about it tonight, so I didn't know. But I just want to thank Scott for all of his, not only his work here in the town, but personally for his encouragement and support throughout my very first campaign and year in office. Orange Village's loss is definitely that other town's gain. But I will look forward to working with you again through the schools and through the many multi-community wide efforts in the future. And I want to thank you for all of your support in the past year. I really, really appreciate it. And you're one of the reasons I decided to run for council. So thank you for your mentorship and your inspiration. And I wish you and Amy and your boys the very, very best in your new home.
Thank you.
Stranger.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Scott. It's been a pleasure being both your neighbor on the dais and your neighbor in the neighborhood. I've enjoyed working with you. I can only hope that your replacement will have the same kind of interest in baseball and can share that with me in the same way that you and I have over the last several years. I would hope that after you've settled into that other community, that you might think about being involved in local government there, and perhaps we'll see you again as a member of the JEO organization down the road, representing that other community up north.
It's like Pittsburgh and Ann Arbor we're talking about. It's,
So good luck in your move. Enjoy your new home. And I wish you all the very best and hope we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Cards and letters coming in.
all right. Before I do my comments, does anybody else have anything? All right.
Oh, it's too bad. We just put the newsletter out and now we're gonna put out a letter for a new council person, right?
Well, so that was one of the things I was gonna bring up, but so his resignation isn't effective till the 1st. So what do we have, Steve? 45 days.
Yeah, it's going to be effective at the next regular council meeting, and the time begins to run from that time.
Okay, so we have time, and we have time to figure it out with how we want to do it with COVID, and we'll talk and try to figure out the best way to do this. So everybody just kind of stand by for how we go about this process that we've done many, many times. Is everybody okay with, I prefer to continue going by Zoom for a little bit while everything's questionable. I think that everybody else is okay with it. Is there anybody who has any objections to this? Just until things are a little more under control, I think this is the best way to go. I think everything's run smoothly. There's been a couple audio mishaps tonight, I feel like, but generally speaking, I think everything's been fine. So unless anybody has any strong objections for us to consider, I think we're just gonna continue doing this for now. That's really all I have. So, hey, Scott, wanna make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I will make a motion to adjourn.
All right, I'll second it. Anna, if you call roll, please.
Amit,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Harry. She muted.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Parting is such sweet sorrow. Yes.
Mhm.
Bilski,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. All right. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening. See you next month.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Good night. Good night, Mrs. Calabash.